Secondly, I wish that you will always find the courage here that you need to fully stand in your power. Raise your hand if you know what I mean when I say stand in your power. Yeah, it's like half and half. I will tell you, I must admit, when this idea was first brought to my attention, it was because others thought that I wasn't fully standing in my power, and I was at a loss. I always thought that I stood in my power, and that I did stand in my power, and that I was operating at 100%. In fact, I'd love to show you a moment that if you had asked me what percentage I was operating at, I would have told you absolutely 100%. This is me 18 months ago at the first Maine Women's Conference. And if you had asked me then, are you operating at 100%? I would have said, yep. But here's the thing. I know now that that wasn't the truth. When I look back and think about how I would have answered you if you had asked me why I knew I was operating at that capacity, I would have said, well, I have a really good blowout. I'm wearing a great dress. And I've got some great heels on. But what do these things all have in common? They're all external fixes. You can't stand in your power from the outside. You have to do the work on the inside. And I had a lot of work to do. I can only stand here today and share this with you because over the last couple of months, I have done the work. And today, I'm truly standing in my power like I never have before. And here's the thing. I couldn't authentically encourage you to stand in your power if I didn't find my way to standing in mine first. This is how we truly lift each other up, by finding our own way to our true selves so that we can encourage each other to do the same. So now, if you're up for it, I'd like to share with you what worked for me. And I'm calling it 5 steps to finding yourself and stepping into your power. Number 1, find a community of women who will not let you play small. A good start is right here in this room. Last year, I joined a business mastermind, and we had a retreat in March, and we did a super fun exercise. We sat in a circle, and each person had to sit there silently while everyone else in the room, for a full minute, gave you compliments. Thank you. Terrifying. And you can't sit there and say, oh, well, you know, I did that, blah, blah, blah. Nope, silence. You just have to receive. Then the next minute, we had to sit there silently while they told us how they wanted us to show up in the world moving forward. The message that kept coming my way was, stand more in your power. But like I said, I was at a loss. I had no idea what they were talking about because, again, I thought I was, but they saw me. They saw my potential, and they challenged me to try harder, to dig deeper, to do the work. And man, am I glad that they did. Okay, number 2, take on a challenge that scares the crap out of you and commit like you never have before. So, if you're like me, you like to be in control of life, and when things are out of control, everything's out of control. Anybody? Yeah, okay. That is what happened to me this past spring. So at the end of April, my father was sent home on hospice with hours to days to live due to a brain infection that could no longer be treated. But much to everyone's surprise, he lasted for about 3 more months. Every day we were waiting for the inevitable. But every day, for 3 months, he got up in the morning, reached for his cup of coffee, attempted to do his jumble puzzle, ate 3 meals a day, watched repeats of The Closer, NCIS, and MASH. Every day that went on, and the more and more I was losing my mind, just waiting for something that was completely out of my control. And along with that, it seemed that every other thing in my life that could go wrong did go wrong. Because you know, when it rains, it pours. I was desperate for something that could help me get grounded. I was begging the universe for an answer, and it came in the form of a challenge called 75 Hard. If you would like to learn more about that, ask me later. I'll talk about it all day. But the net is, it changed my life forever. Taking on this challenge and making it my absolute #1 non-negotiable in my life, it gave me permission to find myself. build boundaries, rid myself of toxic relationships, and do the hard work. I see this challenge as the ultimate in self-love because it forced me to choose me first, even in the hardest days. Because on day 52, 53, 54, and 55, it was very challenging and rewarding because that's when my dad's brain infection finally took over and he eventually passed away. And I didn't miss a beat because I still forced myself to choose me first. I was able to show up for my mom, for my brothers, in my absolute power. I was also able to find peace, grace, and gratitude in some of the most horrible days of my life. A challenge like this that you truly commit to and that raises the bar in every other aspect of your life will force you to choose you. And you will only be better for it, I promise. Number 3, do the uncomfortable because discomfort equals growth. So throughout 75 Hard, I was constantly faced with the truth. Truth about my eating habits, truth about my exercise habits, truth about the agreements I had made with myself. And if you haven't read the 4 Agreements yet, I highly recommend you read that book. Facing the uncomfortable forced me to see that I hadn't been living in my full potential at all. I mentioned I have a business coach, and man, I'm not sure if she knew what she was signing up for when she agreed to work with me because I had put her to work these last couple of months. And even though I was going through a very raw time in my life, she still challenged me to dig deeper, to do the hard work, and get uncomfortable because she knew that on the other side of that work was my power and who I was truly meant to be. Get intimate with your thoughts. Go for a run when you feel like crap. Take a hard look at your bank account on a regular occasion. And when you have to, repeat to yourself, discomfort equals growth. Discomfort equals growth. Number 4, let go of the old story and don't be afraid to write something new. I very much look at my life as BDD and ADD, before Dad died, after Dad died. Because it was such a pivotal moment in my life, I see it as the ultimate opportunity for me to release everything from my past that wasn't working for me anymore. I've worked to accept that I am exactly where I am today because I alone got myself here, good and the bad. But with the acknowledgement allows me to also accept that I can get myself anywhere else too. Because I am the author of my story. I'm in charge of how I can stand in my power, and my new story starts right here, right now. And yours can too. Number 5, invest in yourself. And I'm not just talking about with money, I'm talking about with time too. Read a book that could change your life. Go to an event that is a bit outside your comfort zone. Say yes to the course that will get you certified, the certification that you've always wanted. Sign up for that half marathon that scares the bejesus out of you. The best way to keep growing and keep expanding and keep learning is to invest in your number 1 asset, you. So I'd like to close this out by sharing one last thing. I'm still not operating at 100%, by the way. I'm at a solid 85%, and I feel completely in my power telling you that. And I'm excited for this because it means that there's still room to grow and learn. And I'm going to continue chasing that 100% for as long as I choose to, which hopefully will be forever. So how about you? Are you excited to chase 100%? Yes. Yes? Yeah, girl. Are you ready for the journey that's to stand in your power? Let's work on it together. Thank you. So, here